Hello, I'm Coach Lalisa, and welcome to Speaker Training with Coach Lalisa. Well, I am the founder and I am the creator of Own Your Stage 6-week speaker training program. I'm also the founder and the owner of the speaker training video series that you can find on social media. Well, I want to talk to you about overcoming the fear of speaking in public. Well, there are a lot of people who fear speaking in public, and there are some real legitimate concerns, and there probably are a few things that you really want to be fearful of as it relates to speaking in public. And these things can be overcome. You can overcome some public speaking fears. So, several of those fears are fears that, for some people, it holds them back from speaking. So, one fear, for instance, is the fear of being judged. What does that mean? So, the fear of being judged is when you, as a speaker, that you're more worried, you're more concerned about what someone in the audience thinks about you or is thinking about what you're going to say, or you are fearful that the person will judge your topic or your conversation or your style. Maybe you're fearful that they may even judge you as a person. Maybe they'll judge your credibility. Maybe they'll judge your level of education. Maybe they'll judge your upbringing. Maybe they will judge your diction, the way you speak, your tone. So there are many, many, many legitimate things that we could be fearful of. But what I want you to do is I want you to calm down. I want you to settle down. I want you to take a deep breath. That's right. Go right ahead. Breathe in, hold it, and let it out. And I want you to do it anyway. I wanted you to do it in spite of that fear. Now, another fear that a lot of speakers will tell you that they have, and I understand because I had the same fear. I probably have it right now. And that is the fear of forgetting. Yes, that's right. It's the fear of that you will forget when you're on stage, when you're before a camera, when you're before an audience. You have a fear that you will forget your information. You will forget what you're talking about. You will forget your message. So how do you overcome that? Like, that's the big one, right? Well, the way you do it is that, number one, you practice, you prepare, and you know what it is you're talking about. And if worse comes to worse, if all else fails, you have your notes handy that you can glance down at them and then quickly give eye contact back to your audience. Because when you look people in the eye, they feel very connected, and you can tell if they're really getting what you're saying. But then, if all of that doesn't work, then what you can do is skip it. Maybe you weren't supposed to say that anyway. Your audience doesn't know what you're saying. So just keep going. Go on to your next point. One of the remedies I have for that is having those 2 or 3 points. Maybe 4, at maximum 5, but then you may want to have them written down unless you've delivered that speech over and over and over again. So far we've talked about a couple of major fears. One, the fear of being judged. And I think most people would have that because a lot of times when you are speaking, all eyes are on you. Everyone is looking at you. People are expecting you to deliver a message, a topic on something that they are interested in. Hint, hint, something that they are interested in, which is one way to alleviate being judged critically if you deliver what the people have come to hear. Another fear that a lot of people have is the fear of being boring. They're so fearful that their talk is going to put people to sleep. They fear that the audience is going to look them dead in the eye and go, oh, yawn, oh well. And that could happen. The reality is there are people who will show up at your event just to be an antagonist. It's okay. It makes for a great talking point later. However, if you spend a lot of time and effort preparing your talk, your speech for the audience, you will lessen the risk of being boring. Because typically when you are talking to someone about something that they're interested in, something that will help them, something that will have them have a better life, reach their goals, live their dreams, achieve some purpose, they typically are a little bit more interesting or interested. And then to help you to really, if you really want to impact somebody with interest, keep it short. People's attention spans are just not that long unless they're interested. And the only way to know that is to check with them ahead of time. So, what have I covered? I've said that you can have a fear of being judged. You could have a fear of losing what you're going to say. You could also have the fear of judgmentalness, the fear of somebody judging you, the fear of forgetting what you're going to say, or you could have the fear of being boring, right? And then there's another fear that not everyone suffers from this fear, but there are some speakers who do, and maybe you've let it stop you, okay? And maybe you are already a speaker. Maybe you're already a great speaker, but you're tuned into this because you want to go to the next level. Well, I'm so glad and I'm so happy to be a part of that. I could just like burst right now. I don't know what to do. So, you just don't know. You are so making my day. As a speaker, this is my dream because I'm a trainer. I'm a speaker trainer. And this is my absolute dream. Though I'm a coach and I'm an author, but this is the highest level for me. It's to help you be a better speaker. So anyway, now this last one is the thing we call the fear of fainting. You ever get to that point where your knees buckle and you're on stage and there's like 1,000 people in the room and you're like thinking, oh my God, I'm going to pass out. That almost happened to me when I went to Cleveland, right? I went to Cleveland, Ohio in 2004. And I thought the room was going to have maybe at best, I thought there would be like 60 people in the room. I was going to deliver this message at a prayer breakfast. I'll never forget it. And shout out to my girl Denise for having me come, inviting me to come there and speak. I get there and I'm thinking there's going to be like 60 women gathered in a room. Never mind the fact that it was a blizzard that morning. So at 8:30 in the morning, I'm thinking that no one's going to show up. It's a blizzard. It was February the 21st. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. And if any of you know anything about Cleveland, February is not the month that you want to be there playing around. It was a total blizzard, snow coming from every which way. We go into the hotel, the Renaissance Hotel. I will never, ever forget it. We go in the hotel, and it's pretty empty. We're in a banquet hall, and I'm thinking to myself, why are we in this big, giant banquet hall? There had to be, like, seating for, like, over 1,000 people, right? I'm thinking, wow, who would do that? Well, I had my head down. I was praying. I was in the ladies' room. We were in the back praying. And by the time we came out to the podium where they had us seated, before I knew it, there were like nearly 1,000 women in this room, except for a few of the husbands and some singers and some other people that were helping out. But the room was mostly filled with women. 2004, a blizzard, Cleveland, Ohio. I live in New Jersey. Though I'm from Ohio, we traveled there. So I nearly wanted to faint. I'm talking about 14 years ago. I wanted to faint, but I couldn't faint because I was one of 3 speakers. And I just couldn't. I had prepared. I had a message. And I remember the topic. I remember my message for that day. It was, it ain't over. It ain't over. I will never, ever, ever, ever forget that. That was my message. That was my sermon. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. So when it comes to fainting, here's what I had to do to overcome that feeling of fainting. I had to just dig my heels in. I had to remember that it wasn't about Lilisa. See, when you start thinking about fainting and wanting to pass out, I want you to step back. I want you to take a moment. You may have to take that deep breath. Breathe in, hold it, and then let it out. And then what I want you to do is I want you to take all of your thoughts and all of your energies. I want you to take it off of you. I do, I really do. And I want you to project it onto your audience, onto the people that are sitting there waiting with bated breath. They're waiting to hear from you. They want your message. They want to hear how you've overcome. They want to hear how you've achieved some level of victory, how you've achieved your goals in life. They want to know how you started that business, how you got started. And so that's what I want to share with you. If you want to connect with us, please follow us on social media. You can follow us on Facebook, CoachLaLisa.com. Or if you would like to take our speaker training, you can go to CoachLaLisa.com/own-your-stage-speaker-training. You can sign up. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to helping you. And again, if you don't want that training, if you want coaching of some other type of coaching, you can just go to CoachLaLisa.com. But I hope you sign up for the speaker training. I want to help you become the next top speaker. I want to help you own your stage.